morning, children. Welcome to your English video lecture. So students, as you all already know that in our previous videos we have done the English literature part, right? Today in this video we are going to start English language, okay? And the topic in English language that we are going to study today is by the name articles, okay? So I hope that all of you already know that what are articles. Generally we say in simply we all know that a, and the, these are the articles, okay? And what are these articles? What is the work of an article? Articles are words that define a noun as specific or unspecific. Okay, so articles helps us to do what? They helps us to defining a noun as a specific noun or as a unspecific noun. Okay, and generally what are these adjectives? As these articles, adjectives a, and the are usually called articles. Okay, which adjectives? A, and the. A, and the, these are the three types of articles that we these are the three articles. These are the articles that are basically what? They are demonstrative adjectives. And what are demonstrative adjectives, children? We have already talked about this in our adjective videos. The demonstrative adjectives are those adjectives which helps us to point out at which person or a thing we meant, right? So that is the job of a demonstrative adjectives. Okay, now let's move forward with the topic, that is what are articles. We have already discussed it. Articles such as a and an, okay, these two articles are known as indefinite articles. Okay, indefinite articles are a and an, and the is known as the definite articles. Now let us understand that what is the meaning of the word indefinite and definite articles. Okay, so the indefinite articles take two forms. Articles they take two forms, that is a and an. Okay, so when we use a, generally we know that we use a to in preceding, means before a consonant, and we use an before a vowel. Okay, and generally what is the meaning of the word indefinite articles? Indefinite articles are those articles which does not point out at any particular thing or any particular person. Okay, they don't point out at any particular person, or they don't define a person or a thing. Let's say if I say that I saw a boy riding a horse. Okay, so here by this you can see that I am specifying that I saw a boy, but I am not defining it by that which boy, right? Similarly, what is the meaning of the word indefinite article? So if indefinite means something which is not definite, which we cannot, indefinite means something it does not point out. Okay, in this we cannot point out at a particular thing. So what is definite articles? It is used when a speaker or it is used when we speak of a particular person or a thing. Okay, so when we know that which particular person or which particular thing we are talking about, that time we use the definite article the. Okay, so the definite article is the word the. The is the definite article, and it limits the meaning of noun to one particular thing. Okay, like if we say the boy. Okay, the boy means. Hey students, now we are going to talk about the articles, that how we use these articles. Okay, we already know that there are three type of articles. There are generally three articles. What are those? Adjective, a, and the. Okay, these are the articles, and they are also they are actually the demonstrative adjectives, right? And what are demonstrative adjectives? Demonstrative adjectives are those adjectives which helps us to which helps us to understand that which a person or a thing we are talking about, which basically helps us to point out at what person or what particular thing that we are talking about, right? Then the articles are of two types, generally two types. What are those? First is indefinite articles, and then second one is definite articles. Okay, so a and an, they are what? They are indefinite articles. Okay, what is indefinite articles? Students, indefinite articles though are those articles which does not point out any particular thing. Okay, they does not point out at any particular thing or a person. Okay, they are not able to pointing out at particular person or a thing. Okay, and what are demonstrative adjectives? First of all, not demonstrative, the definite articles. What are the definite articles? The articles where we use where the speaker, where we know that what we are speaking is of for which particular thing or a person. Okay, so generally in the definition of the definite articles, you can say the is called the definite article because it is used when we speak of some particular person or thing. Let's say example, this is the boy I saw. So when I say that this is the boy I saw, it means that the boy I am pointing out, the boy that I saw is this boy, right? So this, from this I am limiting the limiting it to the person here, which is the boy, the boy present before me, right? So these are the definite and indefinite articles. Now what we are going to do, now we are going to talk about the uses of these articles. Okay, that how we use these articles. So first of all, we are going to talk about the uses of a. Okay, where and how we can use the article a. So the first way to use the article a is before a word beginning with a consonant sound. So students, I hope that all of you already know that what are consonants, but to your knowledge I am going to repeat it again. No, consonants. So as you already know before this that what are vowels? So vowels are the letters A, E, I, O and U, right? So other than vowels, all the other alphabets of English language is what? Consonant. Okay, so other letters, other alphabetical letters other than A, E, I, O, U are the consonant. Okay, so when we use a before when a word is beginning with a consonant sound, here are some examples. For example, woman. So here you can see the woman is starting with a consonant, so we have put it a before the word woman. Similarly, year, before year we have put the word, the article a hero. Okay, a hero or history. So what is common here, that all the words are starting with the consonant. Okay, they all are starting with a consonant. So as they are starting with a consonant, so we are putting simply a before the article a before these words. Okay, before these noun. Understood? So this is the first use. This is the way how we use letter article a before the noun. Okay, now let's see the second way. Before such vowels as have the sound of u. Okay, so we use the article a before those vowels where the sound is produced as u. Okay, as you can see in this first one, union. Okay, union is starting with the vowel u, right? So it is starting with the vowel u, but the sound when we are we are speaking the word or pronouncing the word is of u. Why? Not you but y. So that is the reason that we put article a before union. Okay, union, it's not union, it's union. U. Why you? This sound is coming while we are pronouncing the word. Okay, similarly university. So we write a university, not an university, right? And what else? Other examples, a useful book. Useful. So the sound in all these word letters, even though they are starting with the vowel, but the sound they are producing is of the consonant, right? Is of the consonant u. Why? Okay, so that is the reason we use article A before these nouns. Okay, so this is the second use of the article A. Okay, now let's talk about the third use of A, where we can use the article A before the word one which begins with the consonant sound of wa. Okay, as one, O is also a vowel, but we don't use an before the word where the sound of WA. Here WA comes when we pronounce the word, like 1 rupee. Okay, such a one. So the where the sound is of va pronouncing when we are when we are pronouncing the word as va, then we use the letter A, article A before these noun. Understood? So, what are the three ways in which we use article A? First is before the word beginning with a consonant, right? Second is before such vowels which have a sound of U. Okay, and what is the third one? Before the word one which begins with the consonant sound v. Okay, so these are the three ways, these are the three uses of A, where we use article A before the noun. Okay, now let's move on. Now we are going to talk about article an. Okay, these two are what? They are indefinite articles. And what are indefinite articles, children? Indefinite articles are those articles which does not point out at any particular thing or defined person or a thing. Okay, they doesn't define a person. Okay, so now let's talk about the use of article an. Word beginning with a vowel, that is A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so as you all already know that what are vowels? These vowels are the alphabet A, E, I, O, U. So when a word is beginning with a vowel, then we use the article an before those noun. Okay, before those words. Let's see how. Let's take example here, an enemy. So here you can see that the word is beginning with the letter E. An elephant. This is also beginning with the letter E, which is a vowel. An Englishman, which is also an vowel. Let's see the other, ink pot. An ink pot, which is a vowel. An India, again a vowel. An ox, orange, umbrella, empty bottle, ugly man. So all these are what? These all words are starting, they're beginning with the vowel. Okay, and vowel, you all already know that what are vowels? Vowels are the letter A, E, I, O, U. So whenever a word is beginning, begin with the letter A, E, I, O, U, then what we do? We use article an before those words. Okay, simple, right? Now let's see other way in which we can use article an. Word beginning with a silent H. Okay, when we are pronouncing a word, the word, if the letter H is silent in that word, so then what happens? Let's see, let's take example. Here you can see an R. Right, so when we pronounce the word R, we don't say it as our, hour. No, we didn't. The H in this word, in this particular word, is silent. So how we pronounce it? As R. So when we are pronouncing the word, the sound that is coming from the word is of O. Right, and O is also a vowel. So the sound that we are producing is of O, which is a vowel. So we use article an before the word our, and those are word also which begin where the H letter is silent. Okay, let's take other examples also, like an honest man. Okay, it is not honest man, right? The sound is of O, so O is a vowel. So how we pronounce it? An honest man. O, that is of O, right? So here also you can see that the pronunciation, if the H is silent and the sound that is coming is of O, then we use article an before the word. Okay. Similarly, and high, higher. Okay, we don't say it as higher, we say it as higher. Okay, so the sound that we are pronouncing, the H in this word is silent. So whenever the H, whenever the word is starting with a H and the H in this those word is silent, then we are going to use article and before those words. Okay, like an honorable man. I hope that you understood that how and where we use article and. We first, when we use article and, we use article and before the vowels. Okay, before the vowels. And the second way of using the article and is when a word is beginning with when a word which begins with H and in that word the H is silent. Okay, then we use article and. Okay, so these were the indefinite articles. Now students, we are going to talk about definite articles, that when and where we use definite articles. Okay, so let's see. The first way in which we use definite article is when we refer to some particular person or a thing. Okay, when we know that the thing or the person that we are talking about is this person, then we use the article, the before that, word. Okay, let's see. Here is an example. The boy of this school are very obedient. Let us go to the club. These two are different sentences, students. First sentence is the boy of this school are very obedient. So we know that this is definite, that the person or the boys that we are referring to, the common noun that we are referring to is of this school, right? A particular school. So the boys of the school are so we have used the article before these, before the common noun boys. Okay, similarly, let us go to the club. So we know that which definite club they are talking about. So they have used the word, the article the before the word club. Okay. Next, let's see. When a singular noun is used to indicate a whole class. Okay, when we use a singular noun to indicate a whole class. Let's understand this with an example. If we say that the dog is a faithful animal, so we know that we are not talking about a particular dog, right? We know that in general we are saying that dogs are the animals which are very faithful. So when we indicate a whole class or whole bunch of class in a singular, by when we use a singular noun, and in that singular noun we refer to or indicate to the whole class, then we use article the before those words. Okay, similarly there is another example, that is the rose smell sweet. So in general we are saying that the roses smell sweet. Okay, so we have used the word the before rose. Okay, now the third way is before the names of rivers, seas, oceans, gulfs, mountain range and group of island. So when we use the article the, when we are talking about rivers like the Ganga, seas, okay, the Bay of Bengal, oceans, the African Ocean, Gulf, the Persian Gulf, mountain, okay, the Himalaya mountain range when we talk, and the group of island. Okay, so when we talk about rivers, seas, ocean, gulf, mountain, we use article the before these words. Okay, now let's see other. Before the name of a newspaper and sacred books. It means then where we use article the before the names of the newspaper, famous newspaper like the Times of India. Okay, we are using the article the here, right? The Amrita Bazar Patrika. Okay, so we use the before the name of the newspapers and the and before sacred books. The Hindu Times, okay, Hindustan Times. So these are the example where you can see some newspaper name of the newspapers, and where we have used the article the before this newspaper. Okay, now let's see the other way to use the article the before common noun, which are name of things unique of their kind. So when we use the article the, when we are talking about common nouns which are names of a thing unique of their kind. Let's see examples so that you can understand. The earth moves around the sun. So earth is one of a kind, right? So we have used the article the to specify, to to make it definite that we are talking about the sun. Similarly, the moon is shining in the sky. So moon is also a definite thing, right? The world is full of sorrows. So in these you can see that when we are talking about a common noun, okay, and which the common noun that we are using are the names of things unique of their kind, then we use article the before those now common nouns. Okay, now the next one is before the directions. If we are talking about a direction like the south, the north, then we use the article the before those directions also. Let's see example. The sun rises in the east. So here you can see the sun is that the this is a common noun where the noun that we are referring is a unique of its kind, right? And the east, okay, which is the direction, and the west, which is also a direction. So here we have used the article the before these words. Okay, let's move forward. Next is before the names of races or nation. Okay, let's understand this also with okay, so we use article the before the races or nations. Let's see example. The Hindus, okay, the race, the caste that we are referring, the Hindus, the Muslim, the Christians. Okay, when we are referring to a race, okay, then we use article the before those races. Okay, but the is not used before the name of languages. Like if we say that Hindi is easier than English, then we are not going to say it as the Hindi is easier than English. No, before the languages, when we are talking about language like Tamil, Hindi, Punjabi, we are not going to use the before those words. Okay, but when we are referring to races or nation, then we are going to use the letter the before them. Okay, like the French, here French is a country, so nation, right? So when we are talking about the nation, we will use the. Okay, next is before adjectives in the superlative degree and before ordinal number adjectives. Let's see example. This is the best book I have seen. So here you can see the best, which is a superlative degree of an adjective. Then we have used the article the before it. Okay, and in the second example, January is the first month of the year. Okay, here also before an ordinal number adjective we have used the article the. Okay, now let's move forward to the last and ninth part, where we are going to see that how we can use the article the before an adjective when the noun is understood. Noun is understood means when we are talking about a sentence, we know that what is the meaning of that sentence. Let's suppose say the sentence is the rich should help the poor. So we know that after rich, what we are going to say, that the rich man should help the poor man. So when the noun is understood, okay, that which noun we are talking about, then we are going to use the article the before it. Okay, so these were the uses of article the. Now we are going to talk about, students, that omission of articles, that where we should not use articles. So first is before the names of relatives like father, daughter, uncle. We are not going to use article the before these these relationships to identify to define why we use articles is just to we use article to definite it sorry to demonstrate we use article as in demonstrative adjectives, right? So we are not going to use the articles before the names of relatives. Okay, first is that. Second is before the names of materials like gold, silver, we are not going to use articles before them. And the third is before proper noun like lotus, Chennai, Priya, means before the name of a place, animal, thing. That is, we are not going to use the article before them. Okay. Then is before abstract noun. Abstract noun is feeling generally, right? Like honesty, wisdom, truth. So we are not going to use articles before these also. Now the fifth one is before languages, right? I have already told you that we are not going to use articles before languages. If we talk about Tamil, Hindi, English, we are not going to say the Tamil. No. Or we are not going to say a Tamil. No. Okay. The third is the sixth and last one is before certain phrases like at noon, by train. We are not going to use article before certain phrases like these which are given in the example. Okay, students. So these were the omission means where we should not use the articles, or you can say that where we have to omit the articles. हमें वहाँ use नहीं करना है. Okay. So these were the topic, students, by the name articles, and I hope that all of you understood that where we use article a, where we use article and where we use article the, and where we should not use the articles. Okay. And students, the exercise for this question I will discuss that in your Google Meet, so that you watch the video and in Google Meet you can answer those questions. Okay. And still, if you have doubt regarding any topic from this video, you can ask me freely in your Zoom sessions. Okay. Thank you so much, students.